Hello there survivors, welcome back to another ARK Survival Ascended build tutorial. Today we're going to be building this Japanese bridge, which is perfect as part of your base or on top of an ocean gate, as I did right here. But you obviously can also just build it as a normal bridge to maybe cross a little bit of water or maybe even cross a little bit of a ravine. It's a fairly simple design, so without much further ado, let's get started. Okay, we're going to start off with a pillar, and this is going to be the side of the bridge. So we're going to line up like so, and then we're going to have a ceiling on the corner, too wide. So we can place another pillar here on the corner, which is going to be the start of our bridge. Now, it kind of depends what you want to use the bridge for. We're going to have 2 of these stairs going up, and then 2 more to get started with the shape. Depending on whether it's connected to a walkway, you'll just continue the walkway right over there. Or if it's just to cross a little river, you can actually remove the walkway and then just have the stairs going all the way down. Now, in my case, obviously, I'm going to go for having the stairs just going all the way down because it's just to cross this little river here. But that depends on your own situation, because in the other example that I showed at the beginning, and I'll show at the end again, but it depends on your situation, because in the other case on Herbivore Island in the base, I used it to cross over my ocean gate bridge, and then it continued into a walkway. Now, when we have these 2 layers of stairs, we want to continue with a ramp to start adding in the curve. And then we're going to continue into ceilings. But as you can see right now, we can't place anything anymore. So we'll have to add in some support here first. So we'll place down pillars like so. And we'll do that on both sides, obviously, so that we have the supports getting started. And then we can place in 3 layers of ceilings. Now, obviously, we can't just continue it like this anymore. So we'll have to place a temporary pillar down the middle. I would remove this later because I don't think it looks very nice having this many pillars. And then we can continue our little walkway like so. And then this is where you want to have the actual pillars go. This is probably also the smallest size that I would suggest making the bridge. So 6 ceilings at the top. Technically, you could also do it with only 3 ceilings, but that will feel a little short. And now we can actually also remove this middle pillar, because that's what only needed to basically bridge across. So you should have something like this. Now, ideally, for the shortest variation of this is where we go down. Let's see if we can make it. I think we might be a little short of the other side, but we're just going to pretend that it's fitting. So we'll start with 2 ramps again, and then we'll go into our stairs going down like so. And this is also where you probably want to add in other supports again, so that it lines up with what we did on the other side as well. And well, this is usually where the bridge would end. Now, in my case, obviously it doesn't quite perfectly line up because well, there I am on the edge of the river. Here I'm not, so probably this is a good example of what a walkway could look like. So you would continue it into a walkway and then probably transition it back to the land over here. I always like to do my walkways with like half pillars. So what I do then is just adding these pillars like so, snapping them to these quarter walls and then removing them. Just a little bonus tip. But for the main design, we want to focus on this bit and not too much on the walkway over here. So for now, let's remove that out of the picture as to not get confused. Okay, now that we have the basic shape of the bridge standing, we kind of want to look at how we're going to make the roof part and making everything look nice. Now, one really easy thing that we're going to do is just add some railings to the side of this, both on the top and on the bottom of these stairs, going on like this. And that kind of adds in the curve shape a little bit more. Oh, that's not what we want. So we just want to go along like this, making sure that it's all connected, and kind of helps a lot with making the curve look nice. Obviously, we're going to do that on both sides. Okay, and now we should have something like this, and all that we need to do now is finish this middle bit. What you want to do is raise these by 2 pillars. That should be high enough of a clearing to add your bridge. If you want it higher, of course, you can do it higher. It's all up to you, but this is all we really need. And then we want to connect these as well with some beams going across like so. And then we want to add in our little shape for the roof right here. So we're going to add these, and to make it look a little bit better, you probably want to add them underneath as well, so that it's not just floating roof structure, but it looks a little bit more supported like this. And then we're going to add in some little helps to get some snap points right here in the corners. And then this is where we can get started on the roof design very easily. We're going to take out our stone roofs and we're going to go across like so until we reach the end, and there we go. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side as well. So actually a very easy roof design, and I think pretty much all of this should also be possible on official servers. Then we're going to go to the stone ramps and we're going to add another layer down here to make the little curved roof design going on. This is also why I use stone for the roofs, because of course with wood the texture is different, is a little bit noticeable, and I don't really like it as much as doing it with the stone where it all looks the same. So now we should have something like this. That's the start of a little curved roof design. So you don't want to remove these. Now there's a couple of ways to make this look a little bit nicer. You can just extend these beams going all the way across if you want to. And another way is to basically turn this into a little bit of like a more supported start of the building. So what you do is like this, and then you place in some extra ones of these just to have it a little bit more supported. That's probably the cleanest way of making these extra supports that we only needed for snapping look good, instead of, you know, losing the entire roof. Now another thing that we want to do is continue the railing right here. Now it's a personal choice if you only want to do the top, or also add in the bottom to make it line up with the sides. I think both look fine. This might be a little bit busy, so it really depends on what you like, how much materials also you want to use, because I think this also looks completely fine. So yeah, let's just do this for the material list. Then you know I included it with the double layer, but you could also just have a singular layer down there. Let's focus on finishing the rest of this roof for this little bridge. We want to have the sloped wall, and I would make sure that both of them are facing the same way. Just nicer to look at texture wise. And then we should end up with something like this. And then we'll take out our stone railings, place them on top like so. And then we're going to connect them all the way through on the top of the roof like this. Then we want to make sure to flip them so the black border is on the outside again. And we want to go across like this on the side of the roof. And then one final detail that we want to do for the roof is add in these as well on the end. Make sure that the black line is on top again, because I mean, I kind of like that extra amount of detail. And then obviously we do that on this side as well. And then we flip everything that we've just done to the other side of the roof as well. And there we go. That's pretty much the entire design for this little Japanese bridge. I really love this design, and I think it will work great to cross rivers like this, but it also works very well connected to other walkways. This is what it looks like in my Herbivore Island base. I would obviously recommend painting the roofs, just because then the texture, especially this side with the wooden beams, is a little less noticeable. I think it looks a little bit nicer. And also just painting these railings scab, in my case, just looks really nice. And then I painted these little accents black as well to make them stand out a little bit more. It just makes it look a little bit more special than just using the normal textures. Now, if you want to use this bridge as part of your ocean gate, as I did right here, the way I did it first was by placing down the ocean gate. I made a little foundation here so I could snap it into the middle of the foundation and then have these pillars on the side, which would line up exactly with the top of the bridge. Now, what is very important when placing down the gate is that making sure that it sticks out enough of the water so that you still have a walkway that is above the water when you're done with the bridge design. If it's not high enough because of the terrain, obviously that could be a thing, you'll have to raise this pillar a little bit higher until you have the right height, and then the bridge will just be floating a little bit above the ocean gate. But it's a nice design and it's just a nice way to use it. And this is also how it looks when it's connected to a walkway, so you can easily go up here, look around. It's got nice views obviously because it's quite high, and I think it's just a nice way to add a little bit of detail. You probably don't really need a bridge, but it's just a nice way to get around, and it's definitely a nice eye catcher for your base. That's gonna be it for this tutorial. Hopefully you enjoyed, and if you're gonna build this in your own world, feel free to take a screenshot and share it with me either on Twitter or join my Discord and share it over there. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave the like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for more ARK tutorials, and if you want to show the most support, the best way to do that is to become a member, and you can also get early access to some of the videos if you go for tier 2. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.